Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Due to the experience
He
of
brought us
the
more
club
alcohol.
and the...
Did you bring them more alcohol?
I did bring them an extra bottle just to show...
That was your response to what
Yes.
she was asserting to you?
Yes.
Let's just settle it over with some liquor. In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today. And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Janessa and Jasmine Rose claim they were hired to DJ a party and say the event planner stiffed them for leaving the club when fights broke out.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
The co-plaintiffs are suing Kyle Davidson in the amount of $5,000. The defendant is countersuing in the amount of $2,000.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Get up at it, Thomas. So I've got these identical twins here in front of me. We don't have that very often, and you both decided to even dress alike, huh? Except for the necklaces. You all are the Rose twins, right?
Yes.
But what's your
Twin
you all-
vibes.
Twin vibes.
Yes.
Twin vibes. That's what we got here. All right. So we've got twin vibes suing for $5,000. Mr. Davidson, you apparently hired them.
Yes, sir.
And you're not happy with what ended up happening. You're countersuing for $2,000.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to start with the twin vibes. How did you all get into this whole line of work?
We've been DJing for about 10 years now.
Okay.
We've done.
Who does what? Does one person do one thing and one person do the other thing? Are you both spinning? Are you both DJing? How does that work?
Yeah, we
both equally
yeah.
contribute to the DJ services. Like, we both contribute to the business of it and the creativity of it.
Okay. Who ended up having the initial contact with Mr. Davidson?
He contacted us via Instagram, and so it's a shared page.
So you didn't know about him, but he obviously knew about you all.
Yes.
Yes.
How did they come to your attention, Mr. Davidson?
They are pretty prominent. I am an event planner and promoter myself. So
and you have followed them, and so you know that they bring the
yes, sir.
twin vibes.
They do bring the vibes.
And what does that mean to you,
to
that
me,
they bring the vibes?
Fun-loving environment, a safe environment, an environment that promotes just a fun-loving time.
And what was the agreement, and who drew the agreement up?
I drew the agreement up. The agreement was for $5,000 for 4 hours with a $1,000 deposit.
All right, when you say a $1,000 deposit, is the total then $6,000?
Yes.
So 4 hours divided by $6,000, that's essentially $1,500. So $1,500 an hour.
Yes, sir.
You all entered into this contractual relationship with Mr. Davidson. You both signed off on it?
Yes.
Was there an actual physical document that either of you have?
I do have some evidence here I'd like to present.
I'll take a look. Because I see that Jasmine is holding a folder. Jasmine, what's inside your folder?
So I have just the initial flyer that went out that has the details of the event.
Who generated that flyer?
Kyle did.
Okay, you did, Mr. Davidson.
We sent him photos to use, and then he generated the
I'll
flyer.
take a look at that. Let me see it. Yes. And okay, very, very eye-catching. Okay, I get it. I see it. I was young once. And then we've got, I said, do you have a contract? And you sent me a series of texts.
Yes, sir.
So that's how we're doing contracts in,
Yes, sir. That's
in this day and age, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, we decided to hire Twin Vibes. Got it about the $1,000 deposit fee. That money was sent. We get to the day of the event, and Janessa, take it from there.
The day of the event, we arrived to the venue about an hour early, which is standard for us to come and set up, plug in, and just, get acclimated to the scene.
And is that normally what you all charge, $6,000 for 4 hours?
Yeah, it was a holiday, so there was a bit of a premium on top of that.
I understood. That's right. I did see it was Memorial Weekend.
Yes.
And what does that fee include?
It includes custom playlisting, so that takes time before the event to like sit down, download music, create what DJs would call a crate.
Gone are the days, Deputy Thomas, when someone would just bring their records and they would spin and do all of that.
Bring all the records in a milk crate.
Well, that's what I was thinking, and so I'm being educated here.
Specifying that the DJing doesn't just start when you come to the party. It starts for us before.
Do you have your own equipment in terms of speakers, or do you use what they have?
Yes, we're full service, so if a client needs us to bring the sound like in speakers.
Did you need them to bring the speakers?
No, we did not.
Well, he said that we didn't need to bring anything, but we did.
Coming up on America's Court.
When these women were escorted out, they did mention that they were on the guest list of the DJs.
That's not true.
Well, did you have a guest list?
Yes, we did.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Janessa and Jasmine Rose, who are suing Kyle Davidson for breach of contract.
You conveyed to them, you don't need to bring any additional equipment.
Correct.
You all got there and said what? This is not going to do for us?
Yes.
How we roll?
The mixer that they had, that's not the equipment that we use, and we do bring our laptop standardly, so that just didn't work.
So you had brought your own system anyway?
Yeah, we always bring our backup.
Because you're like, you don't want to be caught, somebody representing that you're good to go, and you get there and you're like, this is not how we roll, right?
I would have to then ask, is that preference of equipment or being able to actually use the equipment that is provided?
Well, either
I'm so
way.
glad you said that, because see, that's why I was like, where's the contract? Because in a contract, all that is specified.
Yes.
In a text, it's, oh, you DM me, oh, we're gonna hire you, fine, send me the money, got the money, we'll see you there. And see, now we're having this conversation, but we're going old school with Boss Ross, having to figure out how to untie all of this entanglement here.
Well, Your Honor, to be fair, that really wasn't the main issue. Up until about 30 minutes into the set,
Now, at this point, you have been there for how long?
an hour and a half, because we got
Because
there.
you do an hour setup.
Yeah.
So hour setup, 30 minutes of actually DJing,
Yes.
and 30 minutes in, what's going on?
A fight breaks
A
out.
fight breaks out between a
Fight
group of
breaks
girls.
out. Not that that's something that you want to happen, but it doesn't seem out of the ordinary that when you
it
have
was a little
people,
out of the-
music, alcohol, sometimes there are fights that break out. What were you saying, Jasmine?
For us, that is out of the ordinary because the doors just opened 30 minutes. So no, our events do not start off like that. To me, that's like the start of the event, and they don't start off like that.
This was like a red flag, if you will.
It was
Yes.
a red flag.
During the setup, we did tell Kyle that because of the layout of the venue of Ashby's, that we may need some barricade or some special security to keep the crowd away from our DJ setup. And
Did they
dismissed
tell
us.
you that?
They did, but with that would have been an extra charge out of my pocket, and as well, the venue insured me that.
So they told you this
had
is what
adequate-
we need, and you said, I think we're good.
Essentially,
He
but
dismissed
I
us.
was
He
told that
dismissed.
by the venue that because of the events that they've been having, that the way they were set up, that the security that was provided was adequate.
Okay.
So I was informed that everything was
None
adequate.
of that is in the text.
Well,
But if there were a contract, those things would be specified, initialed, or someone says, I decline, and then that's why we don't do contracts via text.
We have done a lot of events where we were able to just have a verbal agreement of like, hey, these are the details, this is what's happening, and they've gone well over.
Yeah.
That's just our experience.
Well, okay, so why do you think I'm telling you what I'm telling you?
So we don't
to do
interfere.
better next time.
So I'm saying that to protect you. Now, just because I'm talking to them doesn't mean that doesn't also apply to you. You don't operate with any sort of contractual situation?
We do. Normally we do, but with how quickly this transpired and with the willingness of the DJ twins wanting to spin this party, I kind of just jumped on it and wanted to move forward with their business.
And what was your experience? Was there, in fact, an incident that broke out 30 minutes
There was an incident that did break out, a group of females that
usually you don't have women fighting, and not 30 minutes in. The alcohol hasn't even kicked in yet.
Right.
That's what stood out to us.
And that also just stood out to me as well. When these women were escorted out, they did mention that they were on the guest list of the DJs.
That's not true.
Did you have a guest list?
Yes, we did.
Did you confirm that they were, in fact, the individuals that said that
They were on the list.
meaning like they were allowed to get in for free?
Yes.
And
That's
you're
not
saying,
true.
But people say that people name drop DJs all the time. Where they
well, did you actually have a list that you gave them in terms of guests?
yes, and those ladies were not on it.
I didn't recognize
We don't
them
know-
as
we didn't know
anybody
them.
we knew. I mean, if that was the case.
Well, somehow they got in, and whoever was at the entrance saw names that checked off for those two people to come in, or however many people we're talking about.
which I feel like is on the promoter.
But what I'm saying is anybody could say we're here on Twin Vibes guest list. That doesn't mean that they're our guest or that we know
some
them
people can-
They would
personally.
only be they would only see them as being your guests if you guys gave them names of people who then checked off that those names matched with the person who showed up.
Right, so that was a
Right.
promotional error that you guys let some people in without verifying.
From what I was informed on, and from my security and what I've checked, and what my investigation led me to believe that these patrons were guests of the DJ.
All right, so we've got a dispute here. Fine. Then what? What else? Tell me.
Is that
it?
No, unfortunately not.
Well, we called Kyle over to obviously the fight was de-escalated. We continue DJing, and he does come over and he offers us.
I checked on them to make sure they were okay.
He checked on us, but again, I went back to this is why I said we needed that
The barricade.
the barrier or this extra security.
The point you had made before.
Exactly.
It wasn't just you having a premonition. You were like, it's been our experience.
It's his experience, yes.
And you said what to her?
I said due to the experience
He
of
brought us
the
more
club
alcohol.
and the.
Did you bring them more alcohol?
I did bring them an extra bottle just to
that
show.
was your response to what
Yes.
she was asserting to you?
Yes.
Let's just settle it over with some liquor.
Coming up on America's Court.
How long are we now into the party when the second fight happened?
This is probably like an
This is an hour
now.
later after
So
the
ultimately,
first
they have been there for probably maybe 3 hours, if that.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Janessa and Jasmine Rose, who are suing Kyle Davidson for breach of contract.
That's how he handled that. And lastly, or are we done?
No. Another fight breaks out.
Yeah.
So we continue.
Another fight breaks out.
We
Yes.
continue to DJ.
Were those folks on the guest list as well?
Sir,
I
yes,
don't
they were.
recognize them.
Yes, they were. They're a group of gentlemen. This fight was a little bit more intense because of just the mass of the men who were fighting.
And you are able to determine that the men involved in this incident were names left on Twin
Yes.
Vibes guest list.
Yes, sir.
That's not
again,
true.
with
Everybody
security
can
that
come
were
to the
removed.
door and say that
But
they're
with
on our
security
guest list to
removing,
get in
they
the
say they
party.
were here on behalf of the DJs.
How long are we now into the party when the second fight happened?
This is probably like
This is an hour
now.
later after
So
the
ultimately,
first one.
they have been there for probably maybe 3 hours, if that.
All right. Is that fair? You all were there for 3 hours?
Probably,
Yes.
yeah.
Halfway through the set,
Okay.
plus the hour of setup.
So they didn't finish their set, and that
All right.
the
So after
agreement.
3 hours, you all left.
Yes. So,
Yes.
but the reason I want to say with why this fight prompted us to leave is because now glass is broken on our DJ equipment.
Yes.
So now it's a safety issue for us.
We ducked. I had to duck behind the booth because it just got really rowdy and like it was, big guys fighting and stuff. So we're
It
like,
wants to come up. Contractual term number 6. If our safety is jeopardized as a result of the crowd here, we are no longer obligated to continue the set, although we still expect to be compensated X amount of dollars for the time that we put, plus the inconvenience of having to terminate early, which we could have gotten another gig and paid 3 times as much.
Coming up on America's Court.
How much were you actually paid?
We were only paid
$1,000
$1,000 deposit.
we were shooting for 5,000.
Well, you were shooting for $5,000 because you expected to do 4 hours of work.
Right. And
You didn't.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Janessa and Jasmine Rose, who are suing Kyle Davidson for breach of contract.
Bottom line is, you're suing now for $2,000 and
Yes,
it's a
sir.
counterclaim.
Yes, sir.
And what is that $2,000?
So the counterclaim would be for the deposit that I paid, and I had to find another DJ that had to pay double his normal rate to come finish out the last hour of the party.
We got a situation where you essentially agreed to pay them, Mr. Davidson, for $1,500 per hour. They did the hour setup and the 2 hours of the activity taking place before they said, we're out of here. That would be the equivalent of $4,500. How much were you actually paid?
We were only
The
paid $8,000
$1,000
deposit.
We were shooting for 5,000.
Well, you were shooting for $5,000 because you expected to do 4 hours of work.
Right. And
You didn't. Now, the question is, do we offset that by Mr. Davidson's loss?
With them leaving, not only were there some exchange words that we exchanged, but they actually posted a video on social media that caused me to lose patrons coming to the party.
All right, do we have proof of that video?
Yes, sir. I
right.
believe we do.
Deputy Thomas, do we have it queued
Yeah,
up?
it's in your computer all set for you.
All right, let's take a look.
We are leaving the party from Ashby's. It was not okay.
not okay.
It was a hot mess. Literally, we started DJing, and they just started fighting and
Multiple fights. Okay.
Yeah,
It
multiple
was
fights.
not okay.
It was
It
crazy.
was just not okay. If you're on the way there, do not go.
With that, Your Honor, the cancel culture today is very real. And with such prominent DJs and influencers as the twins are.
What are you asserting? The biggest defense to defamation is truth. And they're giving their opinion of a situation where they felt that they were unsafe. So it's not like they're telling a lie.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
So based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down. I'm going to start with the plaintiffs. I'm going to rule in your favor. Are you getting the additional $5,000? That's not going to happen. Not up in here, not today. But you already have received the $1,000, so you'll get to keep that. And again, if it's $1,500 per hour and you did 3 hours, that's $4,500, which leaves you with a remaining balance of $3,500. That's what Mr. Davidson will be paying you, ladies. For Mr. Davidson's counterclaim, am I going to offset that $3,500 that he has to pay? No, because one, you still got the benefit of 3 hours. And even though you had to have paid someone else to perform, you were going to have to pay someone else to perform anyway. It just so happens that it wasn't them. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment will be in favor of the twins in the amount of $3,500. And next time, both of you, let's do this the right way, okay? That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the co-plaintiffs. The defendant has been ordered to pay $3,500.
We're very sorry this had to happen, Kyle. We did look forward to having an awesome event with you.
But I think we should definitely get a contract next time we decide to do business.
That's fair.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.